What's up, everyone? Jello here for Curated Chaos. Connecting the mindset you need to the creativity you already have. Advice, tips, and stories from other creatives so you don't feel alone in your journey.
That was a fucking cliffhanger with the fucking... Sorry, I had to interrupt, but this is my show now. It's going to be like curated, bougie, and basic chaos. Welcome fucking back. That first episode was fucking crazy. I'm not going to lie. I got a lot of feedback. So, unclench your booty holes. We're ready to get this road on the show again.
So, grab a drink or get ready for some cardio. We got about an hour full of conversation.
That's a lot of cardio.
A lot of cardio butthole.
Let's do it. That's like Lube for a year. You would save so much money. They're like, I don't actually know how much they cost. I think it's like $10 for like a mini bottle. I actually have one. I don't even know why it's always in my travel kit when I travel.
Okay. That's not a travel
Very
kit.
weird.
That's a hoe kit. That's definitely a hoe kit right there. I can't stand it. I can't.
It's just always in my travel kit. You know, you have like your mini size shampoo,
like
conditioner,
jumbo size lube. Like, is that what you have? Jesus.
No, that one would go through airport security. Come on. But why is it every time I go through TSA, they want to go through my shit? I'm like, oh, okay, first of all, you're probably going to see a lot of things you don't want to see there, but...
What else you be bringing?
Besides lube? Yeah. I actually don't know. I have like, I don't know. There's actually not much. Usually bring like other paraphernalias, but I know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like going back to the whole... dating at home, I think like the most like memorable like one night stand that was kind of a mistake. It was like back in the day, like so back in the day, 2008, I would say.
God dang.
Yeah, like I think that was like the first thing that it was the first moment that I was like, whoa, this is a little strange. So,
okay, how many one night stands have you had?
I cannot think we'll just say a handful.
You keep saying a handful for everything that I ask you for a number answer. Okay, count. I'll give you a do 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 do.
I'm not gonna use my hands.
Yeah. You want to use your toes? You guys, he's using his toes and his fingers right now. 1, 2. Okay, now he has to use my fingers and toes.
I think about like 15. Yeah.
Like 1, 5?
Yeah.
Like 14 plus 1? Like 16 minus 1?
Yeah, why? Did you think I was gonna be like 5?
I've only had 1.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've had one too.
Times 15.
Yeah, I think like 15, or it could be less. No,
you dirty aminal.
Well, anyways, the first one, it was like it was a friend of a friend, and they were going to SFT together. We got introduced at eating dinner or something like that. And then I ended up going to like a ladies' night event.
By yourself?
No. Like, I invited
Were you the only male?
Like, I invited her to the club, and basically, I don't know what happened, but like I picked her up. We got kind of drunk at her house, and then fucking, partied at the club. Went back home. I was like, I'll drop you off. And she's like, no, you shouldn't drive home. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it always happens.
You are incredible.
No, you shouldn't drive home. You shouldn't drive home.
You shouldn't drive home, but you just sleep over my house.
And it's like, okay. And I looked straight at the couch because it's like, of course I don't want to assume anything. And I'm like, I'll sleep on the couch.
Very good.
And she's like, well, how are you gonna like stretch?
Why are you making her talk like
because she was drunk and that's how she talked.
okay.
And you know, like she was living in the Bay, but she wasn't from the Bay. She was from like, I think she was from Pasadena. But basically it was safe for me because it was like she wasn't friends with anyone of like our network or anything like that. She was just like just kind of there. And so she was like, just sleep in the bed with me. And I was like, okay.
Okay, here we go.
And then it was one of those fucking like, all right, I'll just lay down. And she's like, your pants are itchy.
You wore your fucking outside clothes in the fucking bed, dude. She did too.
And then she was just like, I'm just gonna get naked now. And then did the whole thing. Fast forward to after that whole shit. And I think probably like a day or 2 days later, I called her because I was like, hey, I want to see how you are. You know, how are you doing? I had
a few days later.
It had to be like a day later.
Did you do that the next day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, I was just kind of like, hey, I had a really good time. You know, what are you doing? And she was like very short with me. She was like, oh no, I'm at the airport. And I was like, why are you at the airport? And she's like, I'm picking up my boyfriend. And the thing is, no. I didn't know at all that she had a boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Then you're fine. Karma won't get you.
Of course not.
But oh my God.
That was the first one night stand I ever had. Like,
this is
yeah. And so that was one of those things where it kind of made me go, I don't know if I want to pursue this type of action a lot, because it's just kind of like you fuck someone on the first night, and then the repercussions happen right after.
Yep.
And like, I think that goes with everything else too. You know, like you instantly, you know, like have sex with someone that you just met, and then honestly, like all these feelings come out. We're just kind of like either feelings of regret, feelings of
anything.
Yeah, you know, like it can go both ways of like, oh my God, I am falling in love with you.
Yeah, most of the girls, yeah.
So, I mean, have you ever been in that situation?
I've only had one night stand, dude. It was so bad. It was probably when I first turned 21. So that was like a wee bit ago. That's so funny because Facebook reminded me of that memory. I mean, not that I had a one night hate, like, hey, you got a one night stand. But I remember that exact outfit that I wore. Really? It was at Parlor, which is by like Fisherman's Wharf, and like all fucking trash. I think I mixed like Hennessy and tequila, and fucking mix. Just got what fucking dumbass 21-year-old Clarice. Went home with some dude, and I didn't black out fully because I remember, but I was like, oh wow, you have such a nice car. And then he's like, oh, what kind of car you have? And I was like, the exact same car. Okay. And then he was like, why would you tell me you have a hella nice car when you have the exact same one? I'm like, kind of mean it. But we went, and I was living with my mom. I lived downstairs. There was like, there's still the same, we shared the same front door, went downstairs. And it was like right when we got through the front door, it was like make out sesh, fucking take me to Pound Town. And fucking, we went so fucking hard that we broke my bed.
Nice.
We literally, I woke up and I was like, why is the bed hella like slanted? And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? Where the fuck? Like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I think you should go. And he was like, yeah, I think you, and then he's like, yeah, I probably should. And then left. And then my mom, like an hour later, was like, she came down to my room. She was like, I thought you were being raped and killed last night. I was so worried about you. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, like I thought something was happening to you downstairs. And I was like, oh, I think I was just watching a movie like super loud, and she saw like my bed all fucking broken, and like it was just, that was only one night stand. And you know, it's so weird. Like every fucking year. Like I would at least see him once a year, like at a fucking like at the end up or something. Yeah. I would turn around. I don't even know his name up till this day, but I would always see him. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it's like a Andrew or like a Andy. I don't even know. But I would see him like once a year and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he would try to come up to me. I'm like, oh my God, please. I don't even want to deal with. That's my one regret. Mm. But I guess we went to Pound Town. That was when I was 21. You know,
so you don't have like a lot of regrets with like those you sleep with.
Mm-hmm. Well, besides that one guy that fucking went to Costco,
right? That's different.
But now we have blossomed into this nice little fucking thing. But that's different. No, everything else has been like, okay, this is the thing. Like one of my last episodes, I was like, I really want to become like a fuck boy or like a fuck girl and like be able to like, okay, this sounds like I'm a fucking hoe.
Already sounds bad.
I'm not. Okay, can we just put this on the record? I'm not a fucking hoe. Right. But I was like, I really, you know how guys can just fuck girls and have no feelings? Just fucking just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All right, let me leave. Right. I like, it's hard for me to fuck without feelings. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I get so attached, but that's such like a girl trait, I feel. Honestly, if I could fuck without feelings, then I would fucking fuck everyone. It would be like a hot dog in the hallway. But yeah,
I think the moment you, for my situation, or just gonna out myself right now. Yeah, for like my whole situation, like if you had a circle of friends that were predominantly female, it is definitely a little bit more difficult to fuck with no feelings. Just because you're around people or humans that have expressed their feelings a lot more, you know?
Yep.
So the thing is that there's a lot of situations where I've had to be more forward with my feelings. Like, you know, up front or after the case where it's just kind of like, look, we are very close friends, or we are, you know, I care for you.
You fucked a lot of your close friends.
I said a situation, not all the situations. You know, like there would be like situations where I would have to like be just more upfront and be like, look, I really care for you. Things happen. Yeah. Things happen, but I don't want you to think any different than how I am because like, you know, our friendship is a little more important than, you know, how anything else, yep. Because this is like intimacy can be more than sex. And like, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm really honest with people that, you know, I've never had sex with them, but it's very important for me, for them to know the things about me. And yeah,
as everyone.
Yeah. Should. And I'm not saying that every guy is like me because, you know, I know. Because I know like dudes that are fucking like killing it and they have like no emotion, you know?
I just don't understand. Like, you're gonna fucking fuck a girl and you're gonna fucking look her in the eye and you're just gonna fucking jizz all over her fucking face. Like,
painting the town.
We're going to Pound Town and we are doing it,
motherfucker.
Yeah. Toaster strudel all this. So bad. I was teaching, I have all guy friends and I was teaching, the wives are very like, not prude, but they're like very conservative. Right. And I was like, do y'all get toaster strudel a lot? And they're like, what? Mm-hmm. Like the breakfast? I'm like the
dessert.
Yeah.
Like the dessert.
With the extra icing. So, and they're just like, no, why would you do that? And I was like, so you're going to use your expensive ass $100 towels to fucking wipe it off? Think smarter, not harder. So, okay. And they're just like, Ew, why would you even think of that? They think I'm so nasty. Maybe because they think maybe because I'm like the only single one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it could be a playing factor. But I feel like once a lot of them are married, a lot of your friends married?
They're not married, but they're definitely, either long term or they have kids or whatever that's not single. You know what I mean? Like being single is kind of like it's like a disease right now.
So are you like fully single?
Am I fully single?
Yeah, like 100%.
No, I mean no one's 100% single.
Are you checking your dating apps? Is the question.
I'm definitely not checking the dating apps anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's like
yeah. I think like I definitely turned off all the alerts too. So it's because like. Oh, it's always like this person might connect with you, and I'm like, this person is weird. Yeah, because like they'll be like it's always a case of like I like pizza, and if you like ham and pineapple on pizza, I hate you, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to change the age range or something, and then
no, I don't go hella younger.
I don't either, and so like I turned into like 30 to 35,
30,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And most of the case, like when I was in the Bay, all the women were like project managers or they were like accountants, and boring as fuck. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, no, best believe I've never been on a date from a dating app from the Bay. Like they've always been too whack or yeah, like I've always connected with them and they're cool and everything like that. But the thing is that like being a creative person and transferring back over to the medical field, I still have tendencies of creative people where I'm very like fickle. I'm very spontaneous. And like with them, it's difficult for them to kind of have a tangible idea of like what I do every day. And so it's hard.
Unless they actually experience it and you actually get to know you, like the real deal, then
but like as in LA, it's kind of like I will meet someone that is like a makeup artist and they're so like free and
I think you need to date or like you the way that you're creative and everything, you need to find that same type of level of creativity.
See, that's the thing is that like my last ex was just as creative and she was very, it became, I loved how she worked the room. I loved how she networked. I love how she was very.
And you do the same thing. Yeah. That's very similar. Yeah.
We did the same thing. Yeah. We did the same thing. But then after a while, it became very competitive. And that was difficult because we're just like, okay, so it's just kind of weird because it's like we would place each other's focus or like we would place our own benefit forward, and then it was just kind of like we're together. We're not really together, but we're kind of working together, I guess. And it was just kind of like a fake partnership. And so like now I think it's a little bit more important for me to find someone that's stable, but has the ability to think of that can see me as like, he kind of does what he needs to do, but he'll still come back home.
Yeah. You do your work. And then at the end of the day that you're going to be there. That's so funny you said that with the whole competitiveness. Okay, so the guy who ate my booty hole the first day, like, his name is Frankenstein. I call him Frankenstein on my pod, and like I think the first thing, like he put on his bio that he was super competitive, and then that's like me. Like I work in sales, and I like always want to be number one and everything. And I think we talked about like. On Hinge, like if you ever want to join a winning team, come over to my side. And I'm like, nah, you can come over to my side. Like come over here. And we're very competitive. And so in that sense, he is a comedian. He is in the entertainment business and all that stuff. And he's also a personal trainer. Like what the fuck more can you ask for? But he admits he has a medium-sized dick, which is fucking funny as fuck. He's like, you ready with me? Okay, that's fucking ridiculous. Anyways,
The honesty.
Embrace it. There you go. So we've been very competitive ever since since he messaged me on fucking Hinge, and like it was like ever since I was a child, I was very competitive. And so we were in San Diego a couple weeks ago, and he plays basketball and so do I. And so I was like, let's just play a friendly game, friendly. Okay? And, did a 3-point shootout, whooped his ass the first 2 times. And, oh, he was mad. He was like slamming the ball on the floor. I was like, you want handicap points? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I beat you. And he was just playing fucking serious and all that stuff. And then it's funny, he is sponsored by some company. I forgot what it's called, but it says like always winning. And I told it, I'm a sweater sealer, guys. And I have that sweater now. And then I don't know if I told you, but I went viral on TikTok. And he's been viral. He's had like 1 million views and everything. And he's the one that told me that like I went viral, and he was like, oh my fucking God, like you're about to get paid on TikTok. And he was checking more. And then now it's always like, how much did you get? How much did you get? And I'm like, it doesn't really matter because we all know I got more views. But also my ass was out. We all know.
Right.
His medium-sized dick wasn't out. So I don't know if that will get more views, but I mean, it's very a competitive everything. It's always like, oh, you know more lyrics to this song, you know more lyrics to that. It's very like, but it's always like that. But then it's just like at the end of the day, it's like I'm always like, so who beat you today? And like the fact that we can both admit it and everything, again, the honesty thing really helped a lot. Yeah. It's been very like neck and neck every fucking day. And like, I never fucking want to lose him. Like, I'd rather fucking like slit my wrist than, okay, that's very extreme. I'd rather down a bottle of 151 than actually admit that I lost. Okay, that's extreme. Maybe I'll stick to slit my wrist.
151. That sounds like even worse suicide. But I think like the honesty thing, is extremely important. I mean, I do my best.
It's scary though. It's really scary to hear all that stuff.
It is. I mean, I just think about like how scary it is for him to be vulnerable like that, because like, like I could be putting up a front about how confident I am at all times. And just for me to say something, it's just like, I just got to get through this. Like, I just got to get through what I got to tell you, and we'll see how that goes. And like most of the time I'm fucking frightened to fucking tell like how I feel or, what I'm feeling. Yeah.
No, it is a scary fucking thing. And to see someone receive it is even scarier. Like, how are they going to react to my honesty? Yeah. At the same time,
it's definitely endearing to see them react in a positive way. Yeah, it's so I like that. I fucking eat that shit up. Like, it's so good.
I agree.
Yeah. But for them to like when they turn on you and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's a whole like, okay, well, yeah. No, but I think as we get older, your choices get very slimmer, but you also learn like what Funkin said that like whatever didn't work in the past, it's not going to work in the future. Right. So you really need to change that up. And, at the end of the day, we want to find someone and we can be with forever. And like, I feel like with every single ex that we ever had, you learn and you put all those lessons, you put it all in your future fucking hubby, then I feel like it's going to be like, great, fucking sappy ass shit. But
I mean, that's the key. That's the key. The whole reason why like all of my exes never worked was because either my problem or their problem, where it was like lack of communication. It was, lack of trust, or, there was a lack of affection and things like that. I had a girlfriend where after about like a month of dating and we're like, you know, having sex, doing like hanging out, whatever, I was like, completely tired of her company. And
really, after a month?
I felt bad because it was like, dude, you're literally dodging her because you want to go see a movie by yourself.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
No.
But the thing is, it's kind of like, yeah, I learned a lot from that. Yeah. Like I was trying to be, and it's just like, you need to really be really honest of like what you're unhappy with, like whatever relationship you're in.
And no matter how big or small it is, like with Frankenstein, he would be like, I really hate when you fucking do this, which is like, do you know that song like chicken wing,
yeah.
hot dog and bologna? Yeah, he fucking hates it. And then so like it, like I thought it was just like a joke and he didn't like it, but it literally irks him. So I think like one time I accidentally said it and I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. And he was just like, no, but the fact that you remembered and you thought that, you thought of me and all. And so like there are little things when I don't like about him, when I don't fucking I fell in the toilet seat the other day because he didn't put the toilet seat down. I was like, it takes fucking 1 second, bro. Just put it down. So it's always about like even little things like that, and they're just like communicating like who you're talking to and all that stuff. Honesty is always the best, and it's just weird. I never thought I would be talking. Okay, we're not exclusive, but I've never thought I'd be dealing with someone that is so honest. Yeah. So I agree, and I feel like everyone should be upfront right away, especially with COVID, and you kind of have to like tell them what you want up front.
Yeah,
and we're old. Bitch, I thought I would have 5 kids by now and be fucking stay-at-home mom.
Oh, I definitely knew that I was not going to have 5 kids by now.
Well, living in the Bay Area or like anywhere, it's just like so hard to even have one fucking child and be fucking.
I mean, I think as in this economy, we're not going to have any kids right now.
But I feel like I'm like made to be a mom. I've been having really intense baby fever. Like really intense.
I think so
like,
too.
I feel like
my homegirl Selena, she had like a engagement party, and like my homegirl brought her son, and her son's like 2 years old, and we were just kind of just like observing a child, and like I'd be like, dude, that's your kid.
Like this came from a fucking sperm,
like,
and
your
now
dude.
It's fucking eyeball, and it has fucking phalanges and shit.
Exactly.
No, it's like, I don't know. I've always dreamed that, and I just like, as a 32-year-old woman, I would feel like I would have already been more established in a relationship wise, like career wise. I'm fine, but like my grandma always says, like, you're married to your work, like you're never even gonna find anyone, because that's what both my exes said. Like, you care about work too much, and I was like, bitch, are you paying for my rent? No, so. You paying for that fucking new shoes that I put on your feet? Yeah. No.
I think like one thing that's really important for people our age to try and remember, if you're single and you're really, really trying to find that special someone, like it's the key. It's honesty. You really have to be super, super honest with everything that you're doing. Like on Netflix, there's this show called Dating on the Spectrum.
I think I watched one episode of it.
Incredible, because like they would go on a date, and then like 10 minutes into the date, someone would just be super honest with them, with the other person, be like, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work out, and
like right off the bat.
And then they just leave, and I'm like, if I could just be that forward with women,
but nicely. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you don't need to be nice. Like, there's some times that I just don't want to be nice to the girls that I try to take out on dates. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But, just fucking be like, oh, I'm just going to use the bathroom really quick. And just, have you ever done that? Just like fucking ditched a bitch?
I have.
Ditched a bitch. You
Yeah,
Oh my
I had just turned 21. I was living in LA. It was probably like 6 months into like me moving down here, and
oh my god,
it was bad. Like I used my roommate's car to go pick her up. I picked her up. She looked nothing like her fucking,
because she probably used filters.
Yeah.
She probably
and this
bitches use filters. You really need to understand
this was
that.
like
Bitches
MySpace. This was like MySpace era. Like Facebook had like just popped off, and like Tumblr was popping off as well. And so like and so like I picked her up. I picked her up from like Thai-town, which is kind of like Hollywood-ish area. I picked her up and I was like, this is not the same girl. And
was her body cool? Like, what's her body looking like?
Her was body? Like out of 10, I think like what I thought was a 10, she was probably about a good like 6.5. And so I was like, oh.
You thought she was a 10? You thought she was a 9?
Yeah, in her like, yeah.
You thought she was a dime. Yeah. That's a very big statement. Not a lot of men can say that they found dimes.
And the thing is that like the way we met, or somehow we had met at the club in LA. And of course, LA clubs are a lot darker and they don't really, you know, like in the Bay, in the Bay, you know, like you'll step outside the bar, like outside the club, and there's like a hella lights, and like you kind of like chat and like chop it up with it, like with those people. Yeah. It doesn't happen that way in LA. Like it's just kind of like, oh, we're gonna go, and then we just bounce, like hop in a car and just go home. And so I was like, yo, who was that girl? And basically like, oh yeah, she lives over here, da da da. You know, you want me to like link up with you? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so it was just really bad. Like I picked her up. We were about to go to like Grand Central Market. And then like I instantly was like texting like my roommate, and I'm like, yo, you got to call me right now and pretend that there's an emergency and you need your car back.
Oh my God, guys do that too. Girls usually have an emergency. They're always like, okay, so I'm going to, if I say this, and you're like, oh my God, yeah. Okay, I'll be there 1 second. So guys do that?
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those, was just one of those like, yo, you have to call my phone and say that you need your car. And so I like swooped her up. We were driving to downtown. And then I get a fucking phone call. And I was like, I'm sorry, I got to drop you back off. So I dropped her off. I went fucking straight home. And like my roommate was like, damn, blood. Like if you should really like have your glasses when you go to the club.
Maybe you had beer goggles. Like, was it that bad?
I think around like when I was like 21, 22, we were definitely drunk all the time.
Yeah, I agree. Well, next time now you got glasses on, so no excuses, no.
Yeah, I think that's I haven't really been like meeting like new people. I mean, of course, like during like quarantine and like lockdown, it's difficult to meet new people. Really hard. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I use filters too. So I mean, I don't whatever you see here. This is actually really real. Like if you ever like screenshot this right now, like it's actually real. Like, but I usually use filters. I'm not gonna lie. Like, dude, I've been tanning a lot, like on the beach, and just like I have hella splots everywhere, and I'm like, nah. I'm always like, if real people know me, this is not fucking real as fuck.
Yeah, you look darker than usual.
Yeah, I'm snow white as fuck. Like my tits are fucking white as shit. But the fact that I've been in San Diego so much, my mom was like, you fucking look like Donald Trump, because I like whiten my teeth a lot and I got hella dark. And she was like, don't do that. I was like, she's like, either you tan or you whiten your teeth. Don't do both because you look like Donald Trump. And I was like, okay, fine. And yeah, she told me, she was like, you know, when you have sex with someone, don't they see your tan line? Yeah, Mom. Yeah. She was like, oh, they find that attractive? And I was like, well, I mean, what can they do? I can't be like, okay, let me just erase this fucking like tan and just like fuck. No, Mom. Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's more other concerns than this tan line of mine.
I know.
So it's like really weird. It's a very weird time to date. And like the fact that I'm like, this is my first time being single for this X amount of like time. It's very weird. I'm like, show me your fucking COVID results before you show me your fucking STD results. It's fucking weird.
Have you ever dated a friend?
Okay, so we have like a circle of guy friends, right? I've known since I was like 14, 15. And we always said, like, when we were 14, we were both like, hey, before, if none of us are married by the time we're 30, we're going to marry each other. So it was a 15-year fucking friendship. Fucking got married a month before his birthday. Nice. I was like, fuck you. I'm fucking alone now. Thank you. But we only dated for like 2 weeks and we figured, no, it's fucking weird. I just like looked at his penis and I was like, no.
Was that after your 9-date rule?
No, we were friends for like a year and I was like, no. That looks like a friend penis. Why are you hard? Thank you. You should be soft around me.
Aww.
I don't know if I could ever do a friend. Because even though all my friends are guys, like, I know all of them are fucking taken and they're married and have kids. And I'm like,
that's so interesting because you have like a big circle of like guy friends and I have a very big circle of like female friends. And I just feel like a dog talking to you.
I feel like a hoe.
I was like, sorry.
My bad. That's why, like, whenever like I like meet guys, they're like, you only have guy friends? And I'm like, mostly, yeah. So the negative connotation about that, like every single time a girl says, I only have guy friends, they probably think that they fucked every fucking dude in that fucking guy circle. Yeah. False. Yeah. Like, I sleep over their houses. It's fine. Like, if anything, if we sleep in a hotel, we put barriers. Like, no, it's like,
it's kind of like, well, I mean, there's never always barriers, but I mean, it's just kind of like, it's like, dude, you don't do that.
Yeah, I don't have a vagina, and like, I don't have a vagina to them, and so it takes like their wives and their girlfriends, on average, it takes them a year to actually comprehend that I'm like, when we travel, why is Clarice the only girl with you? Because I'm basically a dude.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is like, I've always been like the only guy on a trip.
See? There you go.
Because like I joke around, but I know that it's pretty true, is that I'm all of my homegirls' boyfriend's favorite topic. Like, they're always like, who the fuck is this dude? Why?
Until they get to know you. No, until they actually get to, oh shit, my bad.
There would not be a podcast with Clarice unless she was burping.
My bad. No, but like, it takes them a year to get used to, like, I've actually got into like arguments with them. Saying like, that's no fair. I think the girl should go on vacation with them and all that stuff. But once they actually see me in action with the guys, like if they see us together, like, damn, dude, you see this fucking girl's tits? Like, we're all fucking like, we're all like, I feel like a man. Like, look, I have earrings on. I haven't put on earrings on for like 3 years. I put on earrings on for this podcast that no one's gonna see.
Yeah.
I am the biggest tomboy. I have basketball and football, boxing gloves in my trunk. Like, I don't feel girly at all. I'm not like that. But it takes them a year and then they're like, oh, we get it now. Okay.
Yeah, fine. It takes a while. I mean, I've had conversations with like my homegirls, like boyfriends, and it's always been like when we all go on vacation or just one of those moments where they're just like, man, I thought you were a shitty person. And
until they fucking find out.
But I mean, like, there's definitely been moments where I've like proved them right. And like, not specifically to like them specifically, but there are moments with other people where I'm not friends with their boyfriend, where I'm not friends with their significant other or whoever they're dating. Hard. And it's
hard. That's hard.
And it's embarrassing because it's like, dude, I'm trying my best to like you know, be a gentleman and be a great friend, But sometimes the connection is more than friends, but it's just too complicated to, you know, verbally talk about it.
No, it is.
So,
especially with, it's really hard. Like, I don't think, this is probably really judgy, but I don't think I can date anyone with that has all girlfriends. And same with a man that comes to me and says like, wow, you only have guy friends. I would feel very uncomfortable.
That's the thing, is like, that's always an issue. That has always been a common issue for, you know, both ways. You know, there's all, you know, my exes have always felt very weird about, you know, all the girls from back home, or, you know, it's the same shit. It's just kind of like, dude, I don't know. I don't know how to change that. Like, I can't.
You can just eliminate all the fucking females in your group of friends.
Because it's like, especially since like, no matter what type of circle you have, your friends are dictating your yearly plans, no matter what. And it's just kind of like, are you even thinking that these women in my life have significant others and they're also invited? I'm not the only guy that's invited to this thing. You know, it just so happens that sometimes if we go to do party stuff, I'm the single one. So I will go and help them. But it's not, but it's not like it's like fucking pull a number, I'm fucking everybody. You know, what the fuck is that? You know, like what is that? What type of mentality do you have? Like that screams insecurity. It screams so much like fear in them that it makes me.
But there are girls like, no, but you have to understand that there are girls out there that have, maybe they got played, maybe they got hurt by, so there has to be, you're insecure for a certain reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, if you come across a girl that, like, has been through some stuff, then she kind of, but I feel like you need to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. If you didn't, you know, if you prove to her that you have done nothing but being honest, again, here we go with honesty, shouldn't have to worry, but I feel like just making her feel comfortable. But it is very hard to even go from an insecure relationship before to going to dating someone with like just girlfriends.
Yeah. And so the thing is that I will have, it'll, you know, do you even think that it would be worth it for me to try and like date someone that has like that many insecurities?
That's the thing. Like, you would know. Okay. So like, this is like another thing. Like, you would, once you meet the person, you know that you would go above and beyond for that person. You would do anything in your fucking world to fucking make sure they're comfortable. So that's like the same thing with like, so with Frankenstein, he was like, there's, you know, he's obviously a comedian and he gets a lot of attention, and he was like, there's always temptation out there. And he's told me that with honesty. And then so he just doesn't want to make sure he doesn't fall for that temptation. And I was like, when you meet someone, you will do anything to make sure that you don't fall for that. Right. So I think like once you finally find that person, you're not going to want to like, you want to do everything in your whole entire power to make sure that they're okay, in my opinion.
Right. I agree.
So, I mean, like, if you're second guessing it, not gonna lie, then maybe you should not worry.
Yeah, definitely not second guessing anything. I think the older I've gotten, the quicker of a response I get from my own head. I'm like, no. Yeah.
Let's like, it's crazy how our mind is like different, like from now or from today until how, or from where we were like a couple of years ago.
I think like when I first met you, we were so hopeful, and
I thought I was going to be married and have 5 kids by now.
It was just kind of like, I think we had so many hopes and all these beliefs, and now we're just like, oh, that is a fairy tale. We don't need that shit.
It's fucking fake. Yeah,
everything is fake. Everything is fake. You know, the only thing that matters is like, how am I going to do taxes with this person?
Right.
Okay, so who is feeling exposed? Because I definitely am. Thanks for listening. This is part 2. We have one more part to go. And God, this needs to hurry up. I feel so embarrassed. But if you ever want to catch both of me and Clarice on Instagram, you can always find us at Bougie and Basic and Curated Chaos Podcast. Again, I'm Jello, and this is Curated Chaos.